afternoon and welcome. I'm Bob Coleman and welcome to Bulletproof, the program where you will hear from some of the giants in multi-level marketing as they share their story on how they made it even when things got a little rough. They never gave up. They never quit. They kept going, proving themselves to be bulletproof and won. And today I am so excited to have on my Bulletproof podcast Ronnie and Sierra Jones, all the way from Kansas City. Welcome to the call.
Hey, thank you. We appreciate you.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Now, I was just there in Kansas City last weekend, and I was just privileged to meet both of you all, and hear both of you all. And so I'm going to let you start by introducing yourselves to the audience. Tell the audience a little bit about yourselves.
Okay, I'm Ronnie Dreams. I've been doing this thing for about 4 years, and my wife as well. Sierra has been doing this for a pretty long time as well. So, would you like us to give you a big introduction on us, or just kind of let us know, who we are?
Well, just go let us know, who you are.
All right, go ahead, man.
Well, I am 28 years old, and my background is actually an auditor. So seeing me now doing this is just amazing and crazy, and seeing a totally different lifestyle is interesting because I was the person who actually didn't have no time. We were actually at a place where, having several jobs and trying to make ends meet, and here comes World Ventures. There's a little blue sign in our lives that changed everything. So being young and getting introduced to this was one of those things where I'm like, I wish somebody would have told me even sooner.
That's a major nugget, because being an auditor, I'll be the first to say a person like you or you would be on a lot of people's chicken list.
Yeah.
And so having said that, who approached you and what made you see it?
It's funny because it was the guy who sang in our wedding, and we hadn't talked to him in probably maybe 3 years. But I'm a bubbly person. So he calls and he's like, hey, I got, with excitement, hey, I got something you got to see. And we sat down and we looked at it, and I was that person. I crossed my arms. I'm not going to lie. I crossed my arms, and, my husband, he was really excited about it. But I was the person, I was like, well, let's finish looking at all the information first. And, at the end of it, I got excited. And, we stepped out on faith with it and was like, look, what's the worst that could really happen here? Like, what's the possibly worst thing that could happen? Either it works or it doesn't. That's how I looked at it.
Okay, awesome. And Mr. Hubby there, what made it happen for you?
Yeah, at the time I was working 3 jobs. I just had to drop out of college with a 3.7, because my mom had an aneurysm. And life started happening really fast. So that degree wasn't going to save me at the time. I needed the money now. So here I am picking up 1 job, 2nd job, 3rd job, paying her bills, my bills, her lights or my gas, plus, a car note. And I was already asking God for something, And here comes my friend who calls me, that I haven't talked to in years, talking about getting some coffee. I'm going to drink coffee. So once I seen it, the first 5 minutes I was in, and I didn't even know it was a network marketing company until I was already making residual income. So I just got good at something really fast. So it was crazy.
Man, that's crazy, because both you guys were really, you wouldn't necessarily be on what I would call a chicken list, and I'm just speaking from my perspective in my early days being in the industry, looking at you would be, knowing your situation, I would be thinking, he's somebody that needs an income. He really doesn't need an opportunity. He needs a steady income because of your situation. But obviously, you didn't see it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing. So, Tell us, share with us a little bit about a time when things got a little bumpy for you guys, or let me put it like this, as a couple. Let's talk couples for a minute. Mm-hmm. As a couple, how do you guys manage working your business as a couple?
Well, I would say this. We're opposites and opposites attract, and it happens in business. So he's very strong. He's very, very driven, and I try to follow as closely as I can. I try to follow as closely as I can, but he gives me a lot of inspiration to, get up and do this every day, because there's been times when, I need to be on personal development and do all this, and sometimes I would get scared of doing the action of it. And he's like, we got to make this happen either way. So it inspired me to, get up here and get back in it and grind, because you know how people say people go through the quitting threshold, right? So probably my first week, I was like, yeah, the person who, showed us this isn't helping us right. I don't feel like I'm getting successful. I'm going to quit. And I never told my husband. So we're going to quit. The guy came up here so fast and was like, no, I'm taking you guys to this training. You're going to hear from this guy who's killing it. And we did that, and I bled blue from that day. But, as a couple, and having him be able to sit here and tell us, this is where we're going with it, and have a vision with it, I have to trust in him. And sometimes it's hard, because you like, look, I don't know how it's going to turn out. But that trust factor is a big deal, and also trusting in the vision, too, and knowing where you're going and making sure, we're on one accord is important. What's the end game? What's the goal? So working as a team is important. And knowing your strengths and weaknesses is very, very useful when building your business, because it does show, they say, building this is a reflection of where you're at and who you are and where you could go. So using those tools that we have in our marriage reflected in our business and what we need to strengthen. So I would definitely say, it's been a personal development builder in our marriage as well as in our business too.
Yeah. I would say definitely it's humbling and it's awesome at the same time, because you got two lists. So that's always the funnest part of having, the marriage, especially when you come in at different angles. You guys see two different things, and if you keep your mind open and you stay a student, it actually makes the thing a little bit better, because sometimes my wife coaches me a lot better than I can coach her. So she'll say some stuff, and I'm a pit bull, man. I'm an action guy. I don't do any fluff. And she'll get to saying some stuff that she heard, and she gets a lot of knowledge in, and I'll take it and I'll go use it, man. So she does a lot of stuff that under the radar, a lot of people go, oh, okay, that's average. And for me and for the team, it's so huge, for we need green people like that. And that's just an analytical person, with her being an auditor, that just makes sense. So, yeah, man, she's just been the backbone, and you definitely need that in this type of organization.
Awesome. And you guys are directors with World Ventures.
That's right.
Let's talk about the travel. What are some of the trips vacations you guys have been on?
Wow. Geez. We've been on 42 vacations since we've been a part of this thing. I would say, the different places that we've been, we almost been to every state in the United States. We're trying to explore the East Coast now. But when I'm telling you, we've been from places from like California, Vegas, we've been in Atlanta, Miami, Orlando, Mexico, D.C., Denver, Wisconsin. It's been so many places that we've been, and just experiencing it through dream trips versus how everyone else does it is completely different. Like, I would never go back, because I know I could never get that same type of experience or memory made the same exact way. I knew I couldn't do it. And if I did, I was spending crazy amounts of money to get there. So, people will say, oh, it's just Vegas. And it's like, no, you haven't done Vegas like how we've done Vegas. That's totally two different Vegases. Most of the way we do Vegas is like what millionaires would do Vegas. So it's just amazing to see those differences happen. When we went to Mexico, that was unbelievable. Like, it's different when you go to Mexico and have a tequila sunrise versus having a tequila sunrise in Kansas City. You're on the, you out there looking at it. You actually have the drink. You're getting this amazing service and this impeccable room. And it's like, wow, 4 years ago, imagine if I said no. What would life be looking like today? Because I wanted to hesitate and not really go experience and live.
Yeah. I would say one for me is obviously been on 40-plus trips. So every year we take about, 10 to 12 trips. So, every trip is special. Down the country a couple of times as well. But I would say, 1 year I got to take my mom out all-inclusive. That was beautiful. We just took her little brother on his first vacation. Now he has the travel bug. He's been on 2 vacations for the first time in his life. I think one of my favorite trips definitely was we was at a 4-diamond resort. It cost about $5,000, for a person to stay in the same resort that we were in, and we spent $300 altogether for both of us. And not only were we having 5-star dining, but we had 20-plus activities, ATV rides, zip lines, jumping to cenotes, and that's what it costs is to fly to Miami, let alone having, a 4-diamond resort. So it's just incredible what you get to get here. When people say if you love what you do it for free, and this is something I would do for free.
Was that the Miraval?
Yeah, it was the Miraval.
Oh yeah, been there. I had a great time. I can concur.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's talk about this. Ronnie, and both of you guys can answer really, but okay, you're having a bad time. You're having a bad week, a bad day. And I think your wife alluded to it earlier. She felt like quitting. How do you deal with that? What advice would you give a person who, joined World Ventures, let's say, and they're not having the success that they think they should be having? What advice would you give them?
So 4 years ago, we had some really strong mentors from the training aspect, not necessarily personally in my life. Because the trainings are always big. You got to go to every training. They say you haven't done World Ventures yet until you've been to all 4 trainings, So that's one thing. Because one thing people don't understand, and I try to get them to understand now, is we got a couple 100-plus people on our team. Well, actually 200-plus, but it's a different conversation. But, one thing that you understand is this, that, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. You know what I mean? This isn't I get in 1 year and boom, I'm amazing. Now, some people can and some people do. But that's not always your journey. For every level, there's a new devil. So what I tell people is be here a year from now, and every year you're going to grow and become better. I got some people on my team who are just now popping ranks that's been in for 2 years, and they're excited on the ranks that they're hitting now. But the person they are at work, the person they are as a mother, the person they are as a human being, you can start to see that growth. So I would say it's one step forward, One thing my mentor told me, man, he said anything that goes wrong is your fault. And I didn't understand what he meant by that. And he was talking about you becoming a better person and the personal development you're getting. You see, I wasn't this person 4 years ago. I actually was a total different person, but with personal development, with been able to have, the grooming that I got within this company, you just understand that you just keep going forward, because where are you going to go back to? Once you take this journey, you've already jumped over that cliff and there's no way to get back. So you might as well keep going forward, because even if it takes you 7 years to become, let's say, a thousandaire, if it takes you 7 years to become a residual thousandaire, $250,000 or a millionaire, is it worth it? If it takes 10 years, is it worth it? Because it's guaranteed 10 years you won't get it at your job. And that's one thing that keeps you backpacking ready to go where you need to be.
Awesome. Sierra?
I would say what kept me from quitting, or, how to help someone who is going through that, is I've been in your shoes where I feel like, I'm not being successful, or, it's not moving fast enough. But one thing that really kicked in for me that I had to, remember is my why. What was your purpose in doing this? Why did you get started with it? Because the moment you forget that, you forget the grind. You forget how to hustle and actually get up every day to go do this thing. So for someone who just got in, it's kind of tough to not know why. Some people do know why. Some people, I need my lights on. I need groceries. I need food, in my kids' mouths. I'm trying to spend more time with them, whatever the case may be. You have to dig deep on your purpose in general. What's your purpose, and are you willing to get there? And can this help you get there? You got to ask yourself that. So just going through those motions and really digging inside of yourself to know what do you want and not be at face value. Of course, people want to, make more money. Money will change everyone's life, right? But when you get there, then what? What's the purpose of getting to that point? So, just trusting the system, trusting the person who is showing you this thing and how to win. And if they're not, find somebody else who is. It's so simple. People overcomplicate it. People want microwave success, and they forget you got to go out here and make it happen. You got to go out here and grind. Good days, bad days. I just made this post that said, you got to wake up every day in beast mode. Your goals and dreams do not care how you feel. So you have to get up here and grind for it. If you don't know why you're doing it, what's your vision? What's your goal? What's the end game for you? Or are you just going to be playing ticky-tack for the rest of your life, trying to get to whatever goal or dream that you're telling people, and they're holding you accountable and it's not happening? So who do you want to be? Do you want to be the person who actually makes their goals and dreams happen? Or do you want to be the person who always talks? It's like the guy you see at the gas station. He's there every day, no job, no nothing. But he could tell you everybody who comes to the door. He talks to you all the time. He's friendly. He's doing all that. But he's not making anything happen. Are you that person who's constantly talking about your goals and dreams and there's no proof? So I feel like when people say they're quitting because they're not putting 110% bet that they'll make it. They're scared of their success on where they could actually go. Instead of doing that, it's easier to quit. It's easy to give up. Winners don't give up. It's not easy to keep going through hurdle after hurdle and maybe hitting an obstacle and having to get over it. Weak people quit. And for me, that's what I discovered. If I'm weak, I'll quit. And I wasn't weak. I wasn't weak enough to quit. I was at the point where it's like, I just want to get better, and I want, my hard work that I'm going through to actually be put to use. Right. So for someone who's going through that, if you're weak, quit. I don't want you a part of this business anyway, because this isn't built for the weak. Being a business owner isn't built for the weak. Being a business owner is built for those who want to win, those who want to be strong, those who really want to change their life. And changing your life isn't built for the weak. You can't expect it to be handed to you and have it put in your lap as if, someone's going to give you your goals and dreams. You can ask anybody who's ever accomplished your goals and dreams, is someone handed to you? No. You have to go out there and actually face the wind every single day, go against the grain every single day when people are like, oh, it's not going to work. It took you 4 years to get there. But you're still at your job and you're not willing to even step out for your dream to see what could happen. But you're so comfortable. Right. So I would just say get uncomfortable.
Awesome. When you guys are truly the definition of what I would call a power couple, like I said, meeting you guys last weekend in Kansas City and being able to attend some training that you guys have put on. You guys did an awesome job with your training. So I applaud you for that as well. Well, I thank you guys for being a part of the Bulletproof podcast today. And Rodney, I'm gonna give you the last word. If you could look into the microphone for about 2 minutes and drop a nugget on someone, and they may not even be necessarily involved with world ventures. They just be involved in life. What 2 minute nuggets could you give them, or would you give them?
Awesome. If you're definitely doing multi-level marketing, understand this is the journey. It's just you're going to keep going. You're climbing up a mountain. Nobody knocks out a mountain, in their first, couple of days. What you want to do is just keep climbing with this thing, keep growing. When the business feels slow, more personal development. When a personal development gets on your nerves, more grinding, more calls, make more calls, get out there, meet some new people. Always be growing, never be decreasing, because if you're not growing, you're dying. It's one of the two. So always be growing, always moving forward. When the mud gets thicker, just lift your knees up higher. You just got to keep going. As long as that you're doing movement and gaining momentum, even when it feels hard, even when the tears come, you keep pushing forward. I promise you, God's on the other side, your goals on the side, your dreams on the side, and you will get it. Just keep going and you'll make it.
Awesome. We thank you guys for that. Thank you for that, Roddy. You know, you guys are, again, truly what we call a power couple. Look to seeing you guys walking that stage real soon as international marketing directors.
Yes, sir. Hey, yeah.
Absolutely. So we thank you guys for being on the podcast today. That's going to do it for this show, guys. As always, you know, we always understand and we believe that we never give up. We keep going in life because we understand that success is built on laws, not luck. Success is built on laws, not luck. That's what we believe in when it comes to Bulletproof. And we also think and always keep in our minds and in our hearts that in all you're getting, get Bulletproof. Have a great, great day. Thank you, guys. Have a great, great day. Thank you, guys.